Spend a day with the broke forex trader. Good day, guys. I'm Lupumlo Glad Manualizer, and I hope you enjoy the video. So normally the pairs that I trade are gold, GBPUSD, and EURUSD. I mainly trade those three, and the reason I trade those three is because I believe that I'm quite adaptable, and I enjoy the way that it moves. Right, so quite adaptable to it, and I enjoy the way that those pairs move. Okay, cool. So let's look at gold. So you see here we have our 50-minute, for our break of structure, we have our 4-hour swing high, we have our 4-hour swing low, and price has been breaking these internal breaks, and our last internal break is here, right? Or our last internal break is here. So in theory, right, we're supposed to, let's say when price comes to an area of supply and demand zone, you're supposed to be taking those cells and then target this low here, and then probably price may come here, but I'm quite skeptical about it. I don't want to lie, quite skeptical about that, so probably going to wait. Hey man, I don't want to lie, quite skeptical about it because price change character here. So this is the 4-hour change of character, and this area where price is at the moment is a reaction. So this reaction may likely push price up, so kind of waiting, right? So I'm just going to try to buy gold. So when price comes here, price is here right now, so I'll just look for those buys and then try to target the next internal high or high, right? So that's what I'm going to do. But in my mind, in the back of my mind, I'm aware that structure is saying sell, but the way that price moved from this area here is just short, it's a V shape, so it kind of indicate that there were a lot of buying pressure there. So I'll try to look for those buys here until the 50-minute internal structure confirms otherwise. What I mean by that is if we can come here to the 50-minute time frame, you'll see firstly, of course, let's have our let's do this, delete that. Let me just view this on the so you see here the structure, 50-minute structure is going to the downside. Now these breaks that are happening within this overall structure are internal breaks. Cool. Now our last internal breaks is this area here. This is our last internal break. So our last internal break is this area here. So we're trading within this, trading within this range here, within this internal 50-minute and internal swing low, right? Internal swing high and internal swing low. Now for me to be part of the buys, I need to see price at least change character to the upside on this 50-minute time frame. Now where would that likely happen? Here, right here. Let me have this tool. Okay, here. So here will be a 50-minute change of character. Let me 50-minute chalk. Okay, so if price break above there, then I'll be comfortable to look for those buys. But at the moment, price is still trying to push up, so we kind of need to see it do its thing. So this area here is a reaction here. Okay, so price went up, right, and then tried to go down, and some demand that was resting here is pushing price to the upside. So if price break above this area here, I can try to look for those buys to try to anticipate that move, but I will be very confident if price break above that area there. So we are faced with that challenge. So if price break above here, then I will try to look for those buy movements, but if price break above here, then I will look for those sell movements. So that's just me at the moment. Yeah, on gold, it's not that deep. So let's look at another pair. Okay, let's start this analysis here on the 4-hour GBPUSD. Now firstly on GBPUSD, we were kind of hoping price come to these supply and demand areas here. We're waiting for price to, so before, right, price was around here, so we're hoping that price may likely come here. Now coming here, we're going to look for those buys, but price hasn't shown us that it wants to come there, so we're kind of trading with the trend until price shows otherwise. So price is in the 4-hour time frame kind of swept the liquidity above here, so we don't know if price will then go downwards, but if it does eventually break here, then we're going to look for those sells. But at the moment, we just try to capture those buys and then see, right? So we just want to capture those buys until price shows us otherwise. So if price managed to break this low, then then but yeah, it's just like this, man. It's not that deep. Just have to be patient with this thing, because there's a ton of imbalance here, right? There's a ton of imbalance, and then I believe that price may likely want to balance this buying pressure here, so we have to be wary about that. So let's go to the 50-minute time frame. In the 50-minute time frame, I think most things are very simplified. So we're hoping that price may likely come here in the future, but at the moment it's still here, right? At the moment price is still here, so we are just going to wait. Price comes here, then we get a change of character that depicts that price is ready to go to the upside. Then when we see that, we're going to be part of those moves. It's pretty much simple. And if price break here, and then we're gonna try to capitalize on those sells. But at the moment, we're looking for buys until price shows us otherwise. Now, if you see here, we have this XXX, this. So this indicates that price didn't sweep any liquidity here, just went up. I know it didn't sweep any liquidity below a low, but in this area here, price did sweep some liquidity. As you can see here, price did this thing and then ended up taking all these orders that were here, and then price pushed upwards. So that was cool. But now, as you can see, it's like, okay, cool. Just have to wait for price to come here. But being wary, go to price may want to sweep all of these orders before that move. But we are aware of that. We are aware of that. So yeah, let's say, let's look at another pair. Of course, let's look at another pair. Okay, so on Euro USD, so I did post the analysis on Euro. I did post an analysis of Euro USD on TikTok, so if you want to, you can go and check it out. All right, but it's pretty much simple here. Of course, if you see here, we have this overall structure, right? We have this overall structure here. Now price is still forming these internal breaks, still forming these internal breaks. So we're just going to continue with these internal breaks, anticipating that price may likely form another high, right? Now we're hoping that price comes here, and then from here we're going to look for those buys. Now if price doesn't show that, then we're not going to be part of those buys. It's pretty much simple like that. So let's come to the 50-minute time frame and then see. Now if you see here on this 50-minute time frame, firstly the structure is depicting buy. Now this 50-minute break of structure in the 4-hour is the internal structure. So we're hoping that price may likely come here, and then when it comes here, we're going to look for those buys. Try and anticipate this high. It's pretty much simple. It's not a big deal. So when it comes to this one, it's pretty much a waiting game. And as you can see here, it's pretty much squeezing, squeezing a lot of price. So I honestly don't want to trade from this move. I mean, there's no volume here. There's no volume here. So I really don't know what's happening. But have to wait for price to come here. And then from here, we're going to look for those buys. So yeah, that's just my analysis on these pairs. I hope they pay out, man. I hope this analysis pays out. But yeah, it's not complicated, man. I choose to keep it like this. I follow 4-hour supply. Rather, I look at higher time frame supply and demand zones, and within these higher time frame supply and demand zones, I look for, let's say for example, let me just make an example. If you look here, this is a 4-hour time frame, right? So within this 4-hour time frame, this is its supply and demand zone. Now if you were to go to the 50-minute time frame, now this 4-hour and this 4-hour supply and demand zone has its own 50-minute supply and demand zone, right? So this is the area where these buyers were took over, right? So this is the area here. So it's pretty much a good area, right? So if price tap here, I'm aware good, okay, price did manage to tap in this for our supply and demand zone, but it would make a ton of sense if it eventually taps into this 15-minute time frame. You know, in honesty, reading books kind of helped me with the way that I think. Now I have a book that I like. It's this book, right? Daily Laws by Robert Greene, and I'm in page 53, right? He says there, like, you have a one goal, and then he says this: the principle is simple and must be engraved deeply in your mind. The goal of an apprenticeship is not money, good position, a title, or diploma, but rather transformation of your mind and character. The first transformation of the way to mastery. You must choose places of work and position that offer the great possibilities for learning. And you know, I kind of took that information and I incorporated it here in trading. Right now, here in trading is quite tricky. I don't want to lie, it's very tricky. And trading helps you to find you. Yes, you find you in trading, because if you're not really a disciplined person, you in it for the money, for the fame, and all of those things, you end up losing a lot of money. And I see a lot of guys risking a lot, for trading. Like, they go full margin every time, and these guys blow money. And if you were to look at their portfolio, you understand that these guys are really not making money off trading. And as much as they like trading, but they don't love trading. Me, I love trading. I love the losses. I like the losses as much as they hurt, but it kind of helps me to learn. Every time I lose, I learn something new. I come back and I say, okay, cool, shit. What happened? Okay, these happened. And I learn from those things every time. I learn from those things every time, and they help me to grow. And this book probably helped me with the way that I think. Kind of helped me with the way that I think, and I'm very grateful. So Daily Laws by Robert Greene. And if you're an inspired trader and you're struggling with psychology, make sure that you find a way to download, or rather purchase, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Bruh, that book is, yo, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. I don't want to lie to you. It helps. It helps a lot. So we just saw first trade on GBPUSD. So we're planning to capitalize on this trade. So rather, we just capitalize on this trade. Now the idea is, price managed to come to this 50-minute supply and demand zone that is resting within this 4-hour supply and demand zone. So we're hoping that price may likely then push back to eventually break this high. Now this is more of how can I put this? So for me to be 100% confident that the trade is going to work out, I needed to see a change of character. But a change of character is here. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me just buy here. But anything can happen from now. So this is my first trade. And honestly, I'm not too confident with it. But I'm going to let it play out and then see what's going to happen. Yeah, let me just put this tool here so that you can see. I would definitely would have loved to see a change of character, but sometimes then just don't have to overcomplicate it. And the idea for me here is, so this area here, it was unmitigated. So if price eventually break below here, then I will wait for that change of character. But at the moment, probably gonna chill and then see how price plays along. So yeah, let's see. Let me put on something here. Let me check my other pairs. Okay, so Euro USD hasn't come here, so pretty much waiting for Euro USD to come here. Then we're going to be looking for those buys, but at the moment I got Figi there. Now with this one, gold is a bit tricky, but I said that I will only trade gold when I see it change character here, then I would trade gold. But at the moment, I'm not going to be trading gold. I am gonna wait. So if gold eventually break above here, I will know Guti, this demand that was resting here, that wanted to push price to the downside failed, so maybe buying opportunities are in favor. So this is just me. So this is a trade update. As you can see, the trade is going in our direction so far, so that makes me pretty much happy. Now I'm going to take a 1:2. I'm happy with the 1:2 risk to reward. Now if you can see here, we have our 4-hour supply and demand zone here, and within this 4-hour supply and demand zone we have this 15-minute supply and demand zone, and I'm betting on this 4-hour supply and demand zone. So I'm betting on it. I'm saying this 4-hour supply and demand zone and this 15-minute supply and demand zone that is resting within this 4-hour supply and demand zone is stronger than this 15-minute supply and demand zone. So in price, man, there's always selling opportunities, there's always buyers, there's always sellers. So you just need to pick which one will be stronger to move price in this direction you want. Now I'm aware there is supply here that is resting here, you know. So this supply may push price downwards, but I'm betting on this one, you know. I'm betting that price may push, you know. This is just me. So we currently need to wait and then see. Currently need to wait and then see how price is going to play out. So yeah, so right now I just closed 70% of this entire trade, so I'm quite confident with it. I just closed 70%, and then I left my stop loss there. So I believe that price may likely come back to supply and demand area that is resting there, but I'm not going to be part of those pullbacks. I'm just gonna let price do its thing. So I'm hoping that price may likely take this high here. So that's just me. So right now I'm trading with no risk, and if you really want to be part of this move, you'll be able to if you follow me, because I do post these trade ideas, you know, and you'll be able to capitalize on these trade ideas if you follow me. So now the trade ended up being a win, ended up being a success. So yeah, man, you know, it's what we anticipated. So we're looking at this move since yesterday or today, I'm not sure, but well, our prediction played out. So that's the good thing. Our prediction played out. So I'm happy with it. I don't want to lie. I am very happy with this prediction. I'm very happy. Now I'm done trading for today. I'll be looking at trades tomorrow, you know. So I like to trade during the afternoon around 2:30. So what I'm gonna do now is just exit the market and then, you know, do my thing, probably watch some animation. You know, it's not a big deal. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video, and make sure that you follow.